I should be live now, and hopefully the audio is going well. Had to do a little bit of audio adapting not long ago, and of course, moments before going live, I put my headphones on, and I hear off in the corner, my cat was getting sick, unfortunately. Luckily, at least to my luck, unfortunately not his, at least he did his business on a sheet of glass, so it was rather quick and easy to clean up, but yeah, would be timed as such. Anyways, as usual, please bear with me one moment while I try to get my tools going here so I have access to the chat as I go through this. Alright, there we go. And I believe last time where we left off, we had just gotten access to our lesbian bait queen to... I was going to say to play with, but I feel like that's a little on the nose. So she is available for party use. That's not any better. Anyways, I was doing some... Oh my god. I was doing some grinding with her in between, because again, I was super excited to have access to her. And I got this email message last time I was getting ready to wrap up. So, again, out of the blue, I've mentioned before, Gardenia is one of my favorite characters, and it's a little goofy as to why, but yeah, things I like. I like raw food. So she's on that whole, okay. Unfortunately for me, with Gardenia, I seem to recall that this is one of those ones where you can kind of, and I might be wrong, again, I'm pulling out of memory here, that this might be one of those threads that you can end early based on how you answer. Give me 1 minute. Sorry about that. And so I can't remember if asking for more details or trying to conflict with her is how we're gonna get further down this rabbit hole. So I'm gonna at least ask for what she's talking about, see if I can't get some feedback. Alright, so yeah, as far as party dynamics go, I've been mostly playing around with her and Mistral, just because right now, Black Rose is unavailable. And I was trying to build up my party for some later ending of this game, mechanic shenanigans and all of that. However, I do think, and I'm pulling out of my hat here. By the way, I completely forgot. I actually put it in the title here, though. That 1 second. Why is none of this seeming to work? No, it seems to be working. I'm just not getting feedback on my side for what I'm looking at. Anyways, hopefully everything is working. I put it in the title, but today is at least the player who plays Orca. I believe it's his canonical birthday today, as far as, you know, month and day. So, happy birthday, Orca. I'm sorry that I have yet to save you and you are still trapped in a coma. But as I was getting at there, I believe everybody gains experience even when you aren't using them. I assume the implication to be that obviously this is an MMO. Even if they aren't playing with you, they are probably still playing the game passively here and there. So they are still getting stronger. They are still doing what they need to do. And of course, I need to make sure to post my stuff around because none of it went through automatically or anything. So, alright, there we go. Hopefully that will be done for that. Anyways, I'm going to throw Mistral into my party. She is kind of she is my bread and butter for pretty much any party dynamic. If I ever don't have Mistral, I fall back on any other Wave Master that I have. I do not have access to Black Rose right now, and I'm not going to do Black Rose's mission immediately.
I'm on my way.
I actually have some things I want to go do first. We do have a whole new character that I can go unlock, and it's a character that has some really cool dialogue interactions when you get to have it with him. He's a big samurai fan, and I believe he talks about a lot of samurai movies. Let me see here. Word list. I think the Kotetsu sword is what we're going to go get for him. Actually made pretty good. I assume that's supposed to be pretty good time. Let me see here. Yeah, I actually made some pretty good time considering I decided to clean my room a bit around 6:45. Man, if you were able to clean your room in 15 minutes, I'd say that alone is really good time. I suppose it might say a lot about how bad I let things get. Either that or it says a lot about how much I have, which unfortunately is literally at the point where I have... yeah, this is going to be kind of outing myself. I have boxes of collectibles that just span certain sections of like 2 of my walls. And so, and I don't mean like out and displayed. I have a lot that are out and displayed.
BBS, and now look at me.
Yeah, Sandro. Anyways, I have a lot that is out and displayed. I love his arm piece, his armor here. I believe in a lot of like old samurai art styles, at least, as far as like games that use this look. It's always like this this two-toned look of like padded, some form of like padded leather armor or something, like reds and golds, much like his pants. But in here, it looks like it's just written talismans, and something about that I just find really cool. It's like putting on the armor of God kind of thing, very spiritual. By the way, and I didn't say it when you came in, and I got to get better at that. Welcome in, Rigid. Hopefully things are going well for you. But yeah, like I was saying, it's not just about having things that aren't.
All of these treasure boxes are full of junk. This ain't funny. Hate to say this, but if you're looking for a sword as well, it's a waste of time.
Alright, let's see if we can't make this not a waste of his time. I feel like that was a double negative and I might have said the wrong thing. Anyways, yeah, I've got boxes of just old collectibles that I've been meaning to put out. And I just, you know, things happen, and then you get busy, and then you put things in corners and in sections, and they pile up. And so I've got, like... I've probably got a backlog of models to build just from the models alone, not just like the collectibles or the figures or anything like that, but just for models to be built. And they're not all Gundam. I've got Gundams, I got Zoids, I've got some other like Kotobukiya figures, things like that. But out of all of those, I've probably got maybe 30 things that have just piled up. And of course, you know, different sized boxes. The Verka Sazabi or the Phoenix Liger are massive boxes. But yeah, those alone take up a big section. I've got, I don't even know how many figures, boxes, and all of that stuff tossed aside. And, you know, I keep cats, I keep dogs. Animals cause things to happen. When things fall, I've got to pick all that up and trying to get all that organized back in some way that is going to remain up and not fall over before the time that I end up buying some more shit. It is a chaotic nightmare failure mess of my own design. Nah, I had plates, trash, and clothes lying around. I threw most of that away, started a load of laundry, took plates out, washed them in that time. Nobody tell Frieza that Jesus is probably brown. Give me a minute here, guys. I heard my dog in the background. All right, yeah, she is just wanting to yell at the neighbors, so I apologize if you guys end up hearing her there. But yeah, no. What would be really funny, and just hear me out on this. Jesus works miracles, right? Like, that's kind of his thing, at least from the biblical sense, and it is not all that uncommon for animes to play. 1 second. I am going to have a screen door to repair now. My dog just tried to run through it. So yeah, that's a thing. Anyways, let me catch up on the chat since I had to walk away there. But yeah, Jesus his whole thing is he does miracles. I'm sorry, I'm a little flustered now. His whole thing is he works miracles. Japan has a tendency to be a little bit on the willingness to play nice, at least, with other religions. Oh, sorry about that. And so it would kind of be a really funny... I can't believe I made it here already. I think it would be a really funny thing if there was ever an interaction like that, where at the very least, you know, are they gonna have Jesus beat Frieza? I mean, maybe they like, Orale put people to work when she came around. So yeah, it could they? Maybe. But it would also be really funny if Frieza just let the racial bias fly hard and just can't do fuck all to him. That'd be kind of funny. That's kind of the direction I was going with there, but sorry, got completely distracted there. I mean, us intellectuals know he was Chinese. There are racial depictions of Jesus all over the world, and it's one of those things where a lot of people just kind of depict Jesus based on the ethnicity that they are. Why that is, I mean, other than, you know, racial biases, I don't really know, but it's one of those things that you can find a ethnically based Jesus of just about anything all over the world. On the map thing, it looks like a cross. There are maps in this game that intentionally start to look like certain things. I remember playing this game as a kid and finding ones that definitely are meant to look a little weird for some reason. And I might be, oh man, I might be pulling from, again, from memories that are like mixing and blending. But I seem to recall that there is one that is meant to look sort of, kind of, if you let your mind have a little bit of teenage boy creativity to it, a little bit of a naked woman. Very reminiscent to, I think there's a Kirby layout area that is loosely interpreted as such.
Found the Kotetsu sword. Say, why don't you leave it with me?
My god, his voice when he says that is just all kinds of weird. Anyways, I'm gonna hand it over.
Call me whenever you need
So the thing is any chance to keep a weapon is just goofy, because all of these weapons are going to be obsolete before long. And it's just a lot more fun to have a lot more characters than it is to have a new rare weapon in your availability on hand. Yeah, since we were just talking about Jesus. It looks more like an upside down cross. Depends on how you look at it, you know. Just lay on your bed, lazily, upside down, head at the foot. Just kind of looking at your TV screen. Suddenly it's not so, you know, sacrilegious all of a sudden, you know. That's just how it works. Alright, so we did get our new character. What was that item he gave me? Increases my physical defense permanently. Hell yeah, give it to me. I've never stopped to think about, can I give those items to other characters and have them get the effect? Also, I will say it now. I have already mentioned as such in the Discord. Where is this one? Yeah, go with Mistral. Okay. Anyways, I have already mentioned as such that we have a couple of new animated series to check out. God, I have so many A's. We have a couple of new animated series to check out. We're going to do a little bit of a watch party in the Discord later. I actually went through the YouTube information today when I was obviously setting the stream up and realized that at some point, I don't know when, I don't know why, the link is no longer available for the Discord server. However, I have set that back up, so if anybody does come by, we actually had a couple of new subscribers since then. At least one of them I know is a big fan of .hack because, as I have mentioned before, as I often do, when I get new subscribers and I happen to get a name or a channel to go check out, I do. And they have a fair bit of .hack content themselves. They're a bit of a fan too. So I don't know if we're ever going to see them live. Obviously, they checked out a video well after the fact that it was live. Deal with this. Mistral, could you please? Could you please? I'm a little hurt. I also did a whole lot of buying of items, and part of the reason that I am stocking up on items is there are some boss fights in this game that kind of really force you to pump through a lot of them. But yeah, we're looking forward to have a watch party tonight on the Discord, and of course, if anybody does decide to join the Discord, we welcome everybody for those. Like how I do not welcome these noisy wisps. I want them out of my life. Ooh, alright, Kigs, you're finally on Dressrosa arc. You are going to have a couple of really good moments in there. I've got a couple of scenes that I go to as far as like being some of my favorite moments in One Piece. And of course, there is a character that until you get to the moment of his backstory, it might even, what I'll say is when I watched it, he aggravated me. He aggravated me, but I knew even when he aggravated me for how he dressed, I knew that it was very much in line with Oda's storytelling to give me a reason to not be as angry about it. And he did not disappoint. I'm not going to give any more than that because, of course, try to avoid spoilers. But you've got some sweet, sweet storytelling candy coming up. So yeah, right now, Mistral is very much in the dark about all of this. Obviously, Kite realizes full well that we just brought a, I believe we've already found out. Yeah, she's like cooking for her family or whatever. We just brought a mother. Is she a mother? Or does she just cook? I can't remember. Anyways, we just brought, we have very specifically within the storyline brought a normie into very hostile, dangerous territories where things could go very, very bad for her. Alright, so now I'm a little bit more vulnerable to physical attacks. I should be able to handle this. I think I'm a little over-leveled for the area right now because I try to keep it that way. I try to keep myself in very good standing to make sure that you guys don't have to sit through too much of the... This is a dungeon crawling game, but I don't want to force you guys to sit through all of this, and next thing you know, we're 45 minutes into a stream, and I've only just barely managed to make it through one area. I've been watching Dragon Ball Daima with a friend of mine. I like the Majin Do. Sounds like Meatwad in the dub. So I have yet to watch Daima myself, but I know that there's a lot of fun characters in it. I also know that there's a lot of good fan service delivery. I think, and I'm gonna preface everything with I think because I don't know how true any of it is, but we essentially get a Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta. We essentially get to see Super Saiyan 4. And, you know, obviously as somebody who is a GT apologist, getting to see Super Saiyan 4 in any way, shape, or form is a bit of a treat. Just like I'm a big fan of Broly, getting Broly to be officially canon was absolutely a gift to people like me on that. Speaking of a boss fight, oh, I almost just ran right in. I should probably have everybody top up, and I think I can pop a few antidotes. There we go. Mistral, you've got some big heals. Please help me out here. Oh, so yeah, Keegs, you did finish Daima the sub, though, didn't you? You've actually seen all of that. Alright, I'm about as good as I can be for this. And again, luckily right now I should be well overplaced on the level. It is wood, but like I want the many hits. Hopefully it's not going to resist this. Alright, good. Let's try Swirling Dart. Ooh, okay. Earth Elements is very useful. I have a couple of those here. It's gonna be a lot better for me to just spam that then. There we go. And just like that, I have taken the entire boss fight and mitigated it down to now just doing the damage sponge thing. Yeah, I legit almost pulled a Leroy Jenkins. I don't think I would have, like, been too poorly off, because I'm, again, a little bit overzealous, or not overzealous, a little overleveled for that level of overzealousness to not bite me too bad, but, like, honestly, everybody else was hurt. If all of that damage was thrown onto Kite, I probably wouldn't be in too good of a spot. Kite going down is kind of the worst case scenario for me. Yeah, I watched all of the sub. Okay, so yeah, you're just looking to catch up on the dubbing.
Wow, I didn't know they had an event like that.
And Mistral, bless her soul, refuses to believe that danger is real. It's a video game.
It wasn't an event.
It wasn't an event. My friend is in a coma.
The laundry. Sorry, I've gotta go.
But yeah, I heard a little bit about some of the information regarding the animated series we're going to check out today. And I think it's going to be kind of fun that... ooh, okay. I think it's going to be kind of fun to be able to check it out. There's a little bit of, at least from what I've heard, fan service out there. And I didn't realize that, at least for the one that I was aware of, which is a series made by Rubber Ross, I was not aware that, I think this is the save one, that there was such a wide fan base around this series before it even came out that there's like people out there actually cosplaying. Oh, hold on. There we go. People are already cosplaying as the main character since that is the primary character that was used in a lot of art for the series right now. And at least from the pilot that got put out, the not pilot episode, pilot like sneak peek, there is at least a flash of a bunch of characters, and so there's a couple of fun ones there. What do we got on the board? Oh, shit. Alright, another goblin. I believe this might be the last goblin, though, so we'll maybe get to check out the goblin armor all at once. Black Rose wants me to go do things that is going to help my friend, save lives, and like all of the good things. But also Gardenia's calling me, and that's kind of more important. Yeah, I got the virus core. In the meantime, Black Rose, you are going to just wait your time, and I apologize greatly for all of the people who will suffer for my momentary distraction, but, you know, pretty lady call.
Theta, cursed despaired paradise. You are coming with me, right?
Sure. Let's try it out.
Look, I am coming with you, but, there, about that. There's kind of plans are changing and I need a moment.
It's
there we go. And give me 1 second again, guys. Allergies are kicking in, but also that might mean a little bit of a good thing. Obviously I have put my garden in already. So,
what's in here?
Do you think a Hitori Shizuka would grow here?
I'm sorry, a what? Anyways, yeah, I planted my garden. And so, if I'm having the allergies from the season, hopefully that means the pollen is everywhere. And all of that plant goo is, meaning good things for all of the growing of the things I want to eat.
That's what you're looking for? I hope you can find it.
Not here. It blossoms, then falls quietly on the mountainsides.
You're a real romantic, Gardenia.
Shut up.
I know it's absolute sipping energy, but you're not gonna get me to, like, stop talking about how much I love her as a character. As far as the pilot I shared, it's only 8 minutes long. It seems like it'll have a completely episodic formula. If they're gonna do... I hope I'm not getting my ass kicked too hard. Seems like it'll have a completely episodic formula. If they're gonna do that, I kind of hope they keep the episodes short. It'll work better. It'll definitely... Ooh, wait. Hold on. Oh, that sucked. I mean, to be fair, I did leave Mistral alone, and that is terrible for... I did not keep my healer safe. That's on me. I have all of this coming, and I have nobody to blame but myself. Alright, there we go. At least... Holy hell! The guy's got, like, no health left. I thought that was done. But yeah, as far as YouTube goes, having short episodes seems to be a little bit better.
This spring...
What do I have in here that I can throw in? I don't want to throw either of those. I don't know if I can get anything good for Black Rose when I go in. You know, Mistral's already got this. I actually have this on hand just to give it to Elk on the off chance that it happens, but maybe I can do something with this. Oh, it's Gramps!
Was it a golden axe you dropped? Or was it a silver axe?
It's the first time, I think, that we've seen the blood drop version.
What? Neither one? Let's see. Then is it this? See you later.
Alright, there we go. Please get better.
Looks like a chain.
Awesome. Holy tree mail. Is that still good for Mistral? Because I would absolutely... It is not. It is, however, good for me. It's also good for Gardenia. How much better is it for me? Like, it's better. It's actually pretty decently better for the all the bonuses. I kind of want to give it to Gardenia though, but I'll take it. But yeah, as far as being episodic for YouTube, short episodes do a little bit better. It rather disappoints me that, you know, I don't know if I want to blame YouTube Shorts specifically. YouTube Shorts is how it like got popularized on YouTube, obviously, but we have really drastically shortened any degree of attention span of the general viewer, especially as time goes on and the young ones get a little older over time. Unfortunately, long-form content is falling to the wayside. It's short content is where the big numbers are, and as far as streaming goes, that's kind of the exception.
When I see the fluffy head of a dandelion, a thought always crosses my mind.
Planet Tonica. I hope I pronounced that correctly. But yes, that is the other one that we will be watching in the watch party.
Like it would feel good if you could fly like that?
I love how Kite's just like, okay, let me give what is a good, very a feminine attracted answer. Let me play into the artistry of the statement. Let me get a little romanticized.
No. I think it would itch when the fluff got in your ears.
I have no idea. And again, it's one of those things where it's just gonna be what it's gonna be. But now it's gonna heal the other one. Okay, there, managed to get that down. Yeah, unfortunately, fighting two of those at once is it can be a real pain in the butt. But I will say, the art style for both of them looks really cool. One of the things I want to specify with the one by Rubber Ross is we've talked a fair bit about Mega Man on this channel. One that we've talked about a fair bit as well, amongst even just that topic, is Mega Man Legends. And that has come up a few times because obviously Mega Man Legends is probably my favorite Mega Man series. But it's also one that we've talked about for, you know, other people bring it up. But the art style he went for the main character was strongly influenced by Mega Man Legends, which was kind of a really cool thing. I'm not going to break all of these pots because I don't think I'm going to get what I want out of it. Oh yeah, and we were talking about map layouts looking very cross-like. You're not going to do much more directly better than that one. Oh god, got two of these again. Yeah, you came back. Let's hit that one. I am going to run through so many Mage's Souls, but honestly, it is worth it. Again, when I also went through and just bought a whole bunch of these items, the other thing that I was kind of hoping on was to not have to sit around. One of the things that is a very good cheese tactic in this game, if anybody were to ever decide that they wanted to play through it themselves, if you just sit here and wait, and you're out of combat, your SP does build up over time. And it's usually at a pretty good clip, especially if all you're trying to do is get enough mana to cast some first aid skills, and I don't know why I did that. I was thinking of that, and I just was hitting buttons. Alright, come on. There we go. But yeah, I thought it was kind of cool that he was basing the entire design off of Mega Man Legends. Even kind of the animation style of that era and all that. I hate this. So yeah, no. I got charmed, and the first thing he decided to do was go beat on Gardenia. The hell are you doing to me, Kite? Making me look bad. I also need to buy a lot more of the fairies orbs, because one of the benefits they do is all of this running around that I'm doing right now in the dungeon. If I had enough fairies orb to really just... Oh, I have 20. Maybe I do have enough. Yeah, I could just start popping those on every floor and beeline it right to the drop-down lower sections. I was just reminded of that 90s movie, Baby's Day Out, and now I want to... What the ever-loving fresh hell is Baby's Day Out? It sounds familiar. Like, something about the title sounds like something that I might have maybe seen at some point, sometime. But also, it's one of those things where I would never place it on anything. Hold on, can I? Please. Please? Yes! Got them both. However, unfortunately, it then ran out of the circle there. I was hoping that the one was going to move close enough to the other one and I'd be able to hit them both. Yeah, I think there are some down the line. I don't think there's going to be any in the first game. I think it's primarily something that comes up as a bit of a gimmick in later ones. But some of the maps start to, like, make patterns. Right now, we're going to get a lot of basic, simple things. I don't think we get a whole lot that really gets a little goofy in design. I also think, obviously, with these layouts, it's clear that they're tile sets. And each tile set is kind of predetermined and loaded in the moment. And so obviously this is just one tile set section. Next room is going to be a different tile set section. 1 second. Alright, hopefully that'll deal with some of this. How am I missing so much? Fuck that guy. Anyways, but yeah, I think the available tile sets also changes when you get further into the game. It is kind of like parts of the game were probably getting developed and worked on in between each release section. So you do get a little bit more with each game. Definitely hurting a little bit here, and I don't want to be running around, so let's just pop that. Alright, so either this is the right direction, or I go down, and I just go straight across. Alright, here we go. What am I gonna... I'll ditch the Raging Rocks.
Did you ask me to come along so I could find this item?
You think too much. Let's go back.
Stop overthinking about it. I wanted to play a game. You were around. That's all there is to it. It's the movie where these bumbling criminals accidentally kidnap a baby and then the kid gets away and goes on an adventure in Chicago. Again, I feel like I've seen that. But my problem with that is I feel like I've seen exactly that movie. However, I have to get Gardenia out of here. I love you, Gardenia. Gotta get rid of you. But that also is very much a trope that is used on several other TV shows and so on.
Here I come.
So as much as I feel like, yeah, I've seen that movie, I also have no idea if I haven't seen that movie and I just know the trope from so many other things, you know? I mean, that is a joke trope that goes back to, I remember at least watching Popeye episodes like that. I don't remember the baby's name, but there's like that baby in Popeye. And like, I seem to recall like that baby gets out and wanders through the city and like Popeye's got to go after it. And it's about the only time you see Popeye get his ass kicked because a little harder to fight literally everything else around you that's trying to kick your ass at all times. All right, so I've got Black Rose here. I can probably check her gear. Plate armor's kind of low. Hands of Fire. I think that's not too high. All right. So yeah, I can give Black Rose a lot of items here and at least beef her up. She's got the fire helmet. But at least I can clear out some of my items that way. Should also use that other... Anytime I can increase my accuracy, I should just not pass up on it. Missing attacks sucks. I just found it on Disney Plus. I think I'll watch it. Ooh, doing some cardio. Nice. I love seeing babies play on construction sites. In Minecraft. Yeah, you know, oh man, I feel like that joke's a little too much for YouTube. You know what, whatever. In for a penny, in for a pound. Love painting barns with babies. Yeah. Again, little much for YouTube. The character's name was Sweet Pea. Yes, thank you. Rugrats did an episode with a similar premise. Rugrats did an entire movie with a similar premise. I mean, that was... You could basically argue that was like Rugrats in Paris. Fucking beautiful movie. I love that movie. I remember Tom and Jerry did that as well. Oh man, does anybody else remember the Tom and Jerry movie with the fat wiener dog on the skateboard? I think it was the first time Tom and Jerry talked to each other, like literally talked to each other. I don't even know how many other times that's ever happened, but that came up and it was like its own gag. Again,
Well, this
an
is
old
different.
movie that I absolutely loved. I mean, it's different, but only in so much as like all of the things that are breaking are also breaking outside of the dungeon, but like not a whole lot different. Let me pop this fire here. Did she just say Dawn's name? Is her skill named Hikari? Hold up, I can check this. Designate skill. Alright, it must have been Karine. Sounded like she said Hikari. Also sounds like this fucker is just a pain in my ass. Stop running away. In fact, I don't want to deal with that so much. I don't know. No. Stop it. Speed up on me. Speed up on... I meant Black Rose, but you know what? Fuck it. I'll use 3 of them. There we go. Didn't want to pop that, but alright. All right, let's see if this is a Gramps one out here as well.
This spring.
Oh, shoot. I forgot. I've got a bunch of things to give to Black Rose as well. Let's see if this can do anything for the blaze armor. I mean, you can argue that all Greg. Wow, Jesus Christ! I am getting way too. My brain is going too fast, faster than my mouth can keep up. I mean, you can argue all Rugrats movies have that plot. I mean, yeah, that's true.
See you later, alligator.
I suppose what I would say there is the first Rugrats movie. It's not so much that as it is like through a forest, and it's about getting back to the kids. Specifically on the Paris one, at least as I remember it, and I could be very wrong. Like the oh, that's a fun one. Well, yeah, anyways, the Rugrats were entirely intending to traverse all of Paris. I don't remember if it was specifically defined. Was it to find Chucky a mom? Was that the entire purpose for them, like, wandering Paris? I don't remember the kids' objectives. Do another fairy's orb. Again, I do not want to spend all of my days wandering the dungeons here, because I absolutely can spend way too long. Yeah, okay, I assume that was specifically the kid's primary objective. I remember that there was a lot of side plots in that movie as well, so like... How am I sped up and this... She's still faster than me. Goblins have nothing on her.
Bloody egg! Bloody egg!
I don't know how I can be the speedy class, give myself a speed up ability, and still I struggle to actually keep up with these characters. That's wild. Oh, got lucky there. Forgot to use the item. And this time it was completely unneeded. Lovely. I can't remember. When is it we next get to see Skeeth? Because, like, Skeeth and Kubia, both of them, are characters that when they come up on screen, it's meant to be like a big shit's going down kind of moment. Alright, let's give her the Sun Fang 1. I'm curious what that's going to look like for her. Well, you know, that's kind of cool. I can kind of see the sun design in the handle area.
Yeah?
Alright, let's see here. Blaze armor, yes.
Yeah. Yeah?
Hands of wood.
Yeah. Yeah?
I can't remember. I think she already had a flare guard, but if not,
Yeah.
doesn't matter. I'll do this anyways. There we go. So right now, Mistral, Black Rose, and Kite, we should all be fairly kitted out. Alright, go with that. And watch me have just wasted all of that because it's not actually going to be a fight here.
What the?
I hate what I just said. But on the plus side, we are getting some like really deeper lore behind the actual world that all of this game takes place in. So that's going to be kind of fun here. I remember the Tom and Jerry movie, but not the dog you mentioned. Yeah, Tom talked at the end of that one. Tom and Jerry short with the nuclear lab mount. No, 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 no. Hold on. Let me see if I can find this. Yeah, this is the 1992 Tom and Jerry the movie. Let me post a couple pictures in the Discord and see if you guys recognize from this. Whoa, hey, stop it. All right. Kind of getting fought here, so let me grab a screenshot instead and post that in the Discord. Luckily, I don't have to worry too much about being live because nobody else is in here right now who is not part of the group. So, drop this into the Discord and apparently get sent all over Google while trying to reference this movie. Put this into the correct location. There we go. All right, I popped the reference point in the Discord. Now I got to get my stuff back together. That sent me all over the place. There we go. Moving my TV to the garage. All right, well, we'll wait for you here when you get back, Keegs. Anyways, if those comments looked similar, you know why. Gotta love... Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I read the one that I read. But yeah, YouTube censorship is goofy. I know what movie you're talking about. You were asking about the other times. Oh, okay, thank you. All right, yeah. That was me misreading into that. My bad.
And so, I shall name her Aura. Without you, she would not exist. The shining girl, Aura. We will entrust her with our will. Our future is in her hands. She is our...
What is this?
I'm gonna be honest, if I was playing through a game and it had a very clear direction, a very clear art style, it knew exactly what it was doing and going for, and I just came across this randomly that nobody's ever seen before, nobody's talked about anything like this, this would be a shitting bricks moment. The boat from Jaws has a birthday. No, Yasuhiko, I'm sorry, has a birthday, who plays a character Orca in this game. But yeah, you know, somebody had to make that boat. Look at all the Kumaman, the Kumaman. I believe that is, oh man, is that the creature from, the creature bear thing from, oh man, what is that series? A lot of people love it. I'm not a big fan of it.
But Aura is
Monokuma?
probably
Yeah.
that girl.
Yeah, that's the character I'm thinking of. I have so many games from that franchise. I have tried and tried and tried to get into that series. I can't. I'm gonna be honest. I love the art style. I love some of the characters, but the game itself, to me, is like rubbing my face on sandpaper. It is beyond bad to try and play for me. I can't do it. I will play other visual novels and not have an issue. I don't know what it is about Danganronpa. Thank you. But yeah, I've tried, and there's so much about it I want to like. I just can't.
You mean the girl who gave you the bracelet?
Okay, no, the Digimon. Thank you, Rigid, again. References flying all over the place.
Yes. I just think it's her.
Look! There's more over here!
shunning the field, broken by wave. The shadowed girl whispers, surely I will return. Alas, the truth unbeknownst, awaiting her at journey's end, eternal mourning for her land.
All right, so
Well, that doesn't make any sense either.
I don't remember if it's been brought up. I think on the board, if you read through all of those posts, there are parts of it that talk about the lore of the world. And I skipped over that. I didn't make you guys read through it. But I believe somewhere in there, it might have been referenced that the lore and concept design behind quote unquote the world, which is the game that .hack the story takes place in, is built around the epitaph of Twilight. And what we just read there was one part of the epitaph. And we did get to hear that after, what was his name? Harold? Oh, I can't remember. I'm gonna have to double check on it. But the notes from left behind from somebody else. I think you're right about that being the Digimon that you're thinking of too. I should be better at this. I've played through all of the most recent Digimon game, and that one actually comes up a lot as an enemy type.
Okay, I'll do the same.
Alright, so let me check here. I think that's actually available in the key items as well. Yeah, Heralds. There we go. But yeah, we're gonna get a lot of these things here, and they are gonna all have, they're gonna play into telling one continuous narrative. And it's gonna have a lot to do with how exactly this game came to be, and who Harold was as a person, and how Aura came to be. And it's, again, it's one of those things where when you play through the game and you're getting this stuff drip fed to you, it really does just keep pulling more of the story at you. Obviously, a big part of this game relies on you liking dungeon crawlers, so as someone who plays a lot of dungeon crawlers, obviously I'm a little bit more than just a small-time fan there. Alright, let's take a look here. Alf went missing. I haven't seen him either. Maybe he got bored. Last I saw him, he said that he found an interesting area that he's been exploring. So I don't think he got bored with the game. If you know it, why don't you just go there? I did, but it was protected. And he hasn't replied to my emails either. So that is an unfortunate story as to what might have happened there. Wow, it's really No-No. Oh, okay, this is, I think, somebody, yeah, author No-No. Just getting excited to see somebody they haven't seen before in a while. Okay, so yeah, the Deadly Flash. It's the worst computer virus ever known. It was spread one network generation ago. The screen flickers really fast or something, and didn't some people die from it? It's a virus that spread from Japan in December of 2003. It flashed on the computer monitor and affected the pituitary gland and resulted in consciousness disorders. Over several 100 million people were affected and 7 people died. They caught the guy in Japan. It was the first case to fall under the network safety law. As for the guy, I think he was put to death. All right, I don't know if we're going to get to this, but for some reason, I seem to recall, okay, he was given the death penalty, but he hasn't been put to death yet, I think. They say that they're going to revise the network's safety law in the next Congress. They're going to get rid of the death penalty clause. I'm thinking it's the guy won't be put to death because of this. Who would have thought a thread about neuro goggles would end up here? The FMD bashed on this board. The FMD bashed on this board seems to be doing pretty well. Can't tell if it's good or bad unless you actually use it. Anyways, yeah, I think, and I don't remember if it's that or it's Pluto's Kiss that I'm thinking of, but one of those was actually caused, I think, in the lore by like a kid. So yeah, I don't know if it's that one or another one, but that is details you get through other such works. I think, and again, pulling from the memory, the AI Buster novel. I can't remember if it's that one or the one that kicks off the telling of this story from Black Rose's perspective, but one of them opens up with a lot of history referencing to a lot of that, and they give you a lot of the deeper dive lore to some of the world events, all before you even get started on the actual story. The pituitary gland. Welcome back, Keegs. Hopefully the move wasn't too hard. I assume you moved it to probably get some exercising done. The pituitary gland. Ah, yes. The gland that makes the balls drop. Is it New Year's already? WNC is the one saying that Ultimate is perfect. They're just cheering for the Ultimate company. I wonder if President Coleman is showing his true colors, like Ultimate. Alright, that finally got the board cleared up. Let's see what we have going on here. Oh, hey, we just read about NeuroGoggle sales being all over the place. They are clearly doing well. Stories have recently been spreading among internet users that online games may cause players to lose consciousness and fall into a coma. The game in question is The World from CC Corporation. I love how, like, CC Corp is an actual game development company, and they are, like, legit bashing themselves in their own story. Kinda love that. Which is currently being submitted to the Guinness World Record as the highest selling game in history. Spokesperson for CC Corporation has stated the rumors have no basis in fact, and there are no plans to deal with these rumors. Let people talk. Haters gonna hate. Doesn't the missing post bother you? I'm gonna look into it. Yeah, took me a bit because I threw some clothes in the washer, had to set up my fan. You are going to be working out, and it is, to use your word specifically, hot as balls. I'm also going to say it is really weird that you can send a message in which you claim it is hot as balls. YouTube, are you listening? And rigid, like every other comment, seems to get censored. I'm just saying, guys, like, what the fuck? Ooh, to Orca. I'm late, but I got that thing you wanted. I'll be in the area where you said you'll take your friend. Well, I know where that's going to be. P.S. Mailer seems to be hiccuping, so I wrote it here. Hope that's not a problem. I'm going to go with it is not hiccuping, and you can't message him because he can't open the message, even though he's still in the game and can't leave because the digital soul is weird. Anyways, let's hop on over to the other servers. Keegs, I'm gonna take a guess. Don't do it. Do not take a temperature reading of your balls and then a temperature reading of the ambient temperature in the room. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna fight this guy first. The highest selling game in history? You're trapped in Fortnite, you poor soul. Oh my god, not only... Okay, being trapped in Fortnite and, like, the idea of, at least with how it's done, spoiler for the anime, at least with how it's presented to us in .hex sign, where the character in that one that gets trapped in the game under different circumstances, so it's not a spoiler for the game, that character, if it's at least implied that they are trapped in the game, and now if they die in the game, it's one of those die in the game, die in the real world. It's not very clearly stated that you would be dead, but like your consciousness would be dead. So for all intensive purposes, you know, is brain dead dead? If so, they'd be dead. So yeah, die in the game, you die for real. So going off of that, if you were trapped in such a way in Fortnite, imagine all of the crazy bullshit shenanigans you see and the absolute wild tryhards that exist within Fortnite. You would have to survive long enough for somebody to solve the issue while playing in Fortnite and having to win every single battle royale you're in, or you're just dead. Now realize, down the line, when somebody finally solves the issue and everybody playing that game realizes that every single victory royale they had might have possibly killed, isn't it 100 people in one game of Fortnite? You could have killed 99 people and you wouldn't even necessarily know directly, but you contributed to every death that you'll see in the headlines tied to that after the fact. That would be some like emotionally traumatic situations there. I guess your other message didn't go through. Funny that you could say it was hot as balls, but I couldn't see the other thing you wanted to test. Ben 10 is in Fortnite now, by the way. Why? Because of course he is. I think Danny Phantom's in there too. Alright, I think I still have one more of these. Okay, I have two more. There we go.
Actually, I didn't sleep much last night. Too excited. Sleep is good.
Oh, God, yes it is. Alright, I think that might be the full get out for the Goblin gear. I'm going to double back around. I'm going to check my gear, and I want to check that out. Because, again, I believe that wearing all of the Goblin gear gives you a unique spell, and I want to see about that. So, let's see here. Goblin cap. Goblin mail. Goblin gloves. And I have all of my gear that I can have on hand, so I want to keep that for a little bit. I think everything else, you know, maybe I'll sell at some point, but Goblin cap, we get Maj Lee. Goblin mail, we get Deck Dough, slow down the opponent. Goblin gloves, poison a target. Fair enough. Yeah, okay, so right now we get Deck Juka, and we can summon our own Goblin. But I believe right now, if I take that off, yeah, you do not get that spell if you take off any of the Goblin gear. I want to go into a random location just to see that effect right now. Danny had that 1,000-yard stare at first. Yeah, I the only reason I know he got in isn't even because I knew of it from the initial, but I knew that it got, like, fixed or whatever. Bursting corrupted Aqua Field. Sure, why not? You did what to Juka? What did I say? I very well might have shoved my foot in my mouth. Oh, the spell. That's right. Alright, I don't remember if this is good or not. Well, they're like level 2, but that was impressive. No, I Deku'd him. Deku Juka. Probably not what I said, but... Gay My Hero Academia reference. Is it just me, or is it really weird that, like, there is a massive portion of the My Hero Academia... Oh, man, I'm going to save first. I could just walk in someplace and absolutely die. I should absolutely save first. This could be really dumb. I want to see just how viable right now having access to summoning a goblin really is. I'm like level 20 something, so sure, level 18. I'm a little over leveled, but like not so much so that this shouldn't be a good scale reference. But yeah, big portion of the My Hero Academia fandom seems to have some very strong obsessions with that ideology grouping stuff. Yeah, my brain is not doing things right now. I'm too busy worried about bringing out big fat goblin boys. Okay, well, I'm gonna just put it out there and say 1,000 damage while I'm only rocking like what, a 4 level, 3 level? I don't know, something like that. 4 or 5 levels somewhere in the whatever. I'm a couple levels higher, and it's one skill that pops 1,000 damage on screen. That is a problem solver for a little bit at least. Ew, interesting that this guy seems to not have so much care about goblins. Alright, so yeah, it's good when it's good, and it's not good at all times. Fair enough. I am going to keep that going, though, and just get my use out of the goblin for now, and probably store that item afterwards. That was the wrong one. Yeah, I knew it was the wrong one. There we go. That should probably put you pretty close to death. I hate that everything is so fast all of a sudden. I'm just like not able to catch anybody. And unfortunately, this thing has a status effect that if it pops off, does a lot of damage. For the reference, yes, I will also agree with that. This is not necessarily a complaint, especially not of any of the fan art stuff that's out there. But, yeah, it does feel a little bit heavy in that direction. Where is this thing? There we go. Well, I'm here. I'm going to try this out. Yeah, we'll throw the Fire Drake mail in. I think it's probably going to go down. I think whether it goes up or down is somehow tied to the weather of the area and like the area location. So Fire Drake is going to be fire based, and this is very normalized out here. So I don't know if it's going to go up or down. Yeah, I kind of thought it would. If I was in an area that was like scorched earth or a dry desert, I think it would go up. I don't know too much of the details about how it works, but I seem to recall like that plays a factor. Deku is the new Asta in terms of people making fun of the English voice acting. It's really funny hearing how many people can just do the Deku voice inflections as well. You know, it's a very good typo, especially for the game in question. Alright. I need to stop doing all of this misclicking. I'm trying to work faster than the game wants to work. I forget I'm playing a PS2 game and I'm not playing, what was it? The ETA? NTE? NTE. Yeah, you're the one that stores my items, and I still have the goblin shit equipped. There we go. I'm not going to get rid of the goblin stuff. It's always fun to have on hand. But obviously the goblin attack isn't quite all it's made out to be. There we go. Hey Richie, welcome to the stream. How are things going? Hopefully things are going well. I can't wait for Black Clover to come back. Black Clover, again, was an anime that I wanted to love way more than I did. I wanted to love it so much. I also, again, loved the idea, at least from the outset, the starting point. Everybody's got magics, and Asta was just like, you know what? I can't do magic. Fuck your magic. I'm just gonna break your magic with the power of being ripped. Such a based idea. I love it. Speaking of games, not only did they make a television of on Dr. Stone, they also made video games! Yeah! How can you not have, like, the restoration of human society, bring in TVs, and not have video games? Anyways, let me check here. I can't remember. Okay, no. I do have to go back to the Delta server. We gotta go meet Orca's friend. You can kind of tell it's getting really late and longer than I normally do standard streams because my brain has shut down a while ago. And at this point, I am powered by caffeine.
Huh? You're a friend of Orca? That's why you know this place. So, how is he doing?
So yeah, about him, you know how when people get really old, sometimes they go in the hospital and they just stay there for months on end? Yeah, he's not really old, but he's still in that position.
That's incredible. That rumor, it can't be.
Give me 1 minute. Luckily, we got a cutscene. What passes for a cutscene in this game going?
Rumor? Orca also mentioned it.
About there's something unknown, lurking within the world. You never heard about it?
That's what Orca was investigating?
I don't have the details. Linda was asking him all kinds of questions. Maybe she knows more about it. She's probably at Delta, buried pagan fiery sands.
Thank you. I'll check it out.
All right, we have one more place to go to.
I think Orca was going to give this to you.
That's... Wait. I have to look at what it does. But it does seem really weird if it's another one of those parameter boosting items that Orca was going to give me as a brand new player. Because again, when I met him, I had just first logged in. Yeah, that is really weird. Also, I do want to point out, it is kind of interesting that all of those are working. But the Book of Law and Book of Iron that was like really sold up as just being like, fucking use it, you're gonna be the most busted character ever. Those don't work. Alright, so let's log out, check the board and our emails, because I think we just got an email as well. I don't know why I thought I got one. I thought I saw the pop-up come up in the top left. I've had like 6 cups of coffee today. I've had like 6 cups of coffee in the last 3 hours. All right, let's see about loading out the party. Can I get Black Rose? Okay, Mistral.
Alrighty, I'm coming.
All right, so at least I can have a party. Gardenia?
It's you. I'm on my way.
Awesome. Dr. Stone is the one franchise that could make an educational RPG work because the anime is already basically that. Not only that, I think Dr. Stone would be great for one of those survival base building games. Like, the premise of it is, again, like you said, it's just built for that kind of thing. I think that's light energy? Either way, that broke his face pretty hard. YouTube probably won't censor Richie from 2 comments ago, because YouTube likes him better than me, right? Oh, but I did miss that thing coming in, so let me double back here. I remember a video called "When You Try to Escape Racism by Living in Anime." Black Clover had the most offensive example. Ooh, okay. You know, I don't want to say I get it, but I think I might. Oh, hold on. She's beating my ass. Wait, hold on. She's beating my ass. That was such an unintentional, obvious moment there. Hold on, let me do something about this. She's beating my ass. Wait, hold on. Why am I going to do something about this? She's beating my ass.
Just with you.
Alright, he can't do anything for it. How unfortunate.
See you later, alligator.
I think there was a second one that the YouTuber also did. Either that or I'm confusing that with another one he did a sequel to. I've had 6 liters of Pepsi Max back when it had twice the amount of caffeine and, ooh, ginseng. And they had 1.5 liters, which were also $1 back then. God, inflation sucks. Would not recommend. You'd be surprised I've had comments censored before. I would be surprised, Rich. You're a good boy. Rigid and I are, I get comments censored very often. I'll look to see if I can find out real quick. I think I remember it, but I'm not 100% sure. I wish I had a woman that would beat me. Keegs, I'm as someone who is in that position in life, I can tell you with complete honesty, I'm sorry that you don't. That's all I'm gonna say. And I will leave that well open for all kinds of interpretation. Confirmed YouTube favors Richie over me. Figures. Sylvanus. I don't know if I'm saying that sounds familiar because I might have possibly seen something from that YouTuber before, or if I am just, again, thinking about something else entirely, because, like, that's also not one for one the name of... Oh, I'm confused. God damn! Gardenia just beat my ass! I'm still not gonna stop her. She does 250 damage with that spear. Holy hell.
Back cruise.
I probably should do something about that. But at this point, I'm running the joke, and I'm not gonna stop. Alright, hold on. That hurt a lot, though. Alright, there we go. Ooh, oh no melons.
Oh, no melon.
This is, again, one of those ones that, like, the pronunciation of it in the game is permanently ingrained in my brain. Alright, I want to go to this shell, the one with the big opening up front. There we go. But yeah, there was a character, I think it was Cervantes, is the one I'm thinking of from Soul Calibur. Which is where I might be mixing up the names there myself from. Comment gets removed for me saying something mean in response to Ian calling me a good boy. Oh, that would be the one to get pulled. You can't wish deaths upon me. Not on YouTube at least. Over on Discord, however, the rules are basically laid out that you can say whatever the hell you want about me, just don't target other people, so I probably should update that, but like there is also the whole thing about don't do the criminal things, so I suppose I'm sort of balanced there, because can't do that legally anyways. Also, can confirm he did make a part 2 to that video. Also, it's if you tried to escape racism by living in anime. You know, I'm kind of thinking now. To escape racism in anime, which one would you probably want to go into? And I know it's arguably the very wrong answer, but it's also the answer that feels right in my heart. Racism exists in terms of the Gundam design with G Gundam, but racism, like, nobody cared about your race in G Gundam as far as you as a pilot. The only distinction there has nothing to do with race, but it's a matter of whether or not you were born on Earth or if you were born in one of the space colonies. So it's not racism. There is discrimination, but it's not based on race. I would say, you know, to escape racism, my go-to would be G Gundam. And while racism sort of kind of exists, as I pointed to as far as, ooh, accuracy go up. Like that. I also don't want to wander around here too, so let's pop a fairy's orb. I feel like that was good because this one goes all over the place. But yeah, like, is it true that they have a sombrero wearing Mexican Gundam? Yes. Is it true that I think it's the Denmark Gundam is a big giant windmill? Also yes. Do they have racial stereotypes in their Gundam designs? Yes. But also everybody who's piloting their Gundam is super proud about their heritage and they lean into it. And it's just like, am I Mexican? Yes, and I'm fucking awesome for it. Am I Russian? Yes. Am I a prisoner? Yes. I don't care. Russians are awesome. Am I name anything and they're just like, yes, and my dick is all the bigger for it. Except for Alan B. Dick don't get big with her.
Yeah.
She did, however, get a Super Saiyan form with a Gundam, and that was dope.
Bob told me about you. It's about the rumor, right? The world is not just an online game.
Cervantes is a fun character in Soul Calibur. It's kind of hard to screw up a pirate character, to be fair. You can screw it up, but yeah, you kind of have to work to actually make a bad pirate.
I don't know. After all, it's just a rumor. And I'm not sure if it even exists.
I think I've mentioned before that, like, I'm a big fan of the Lufia series as well. And one of my favorite entries in that game is often considered to be one of the fandom's, like, least favorite. but Lufia the Legend Returns, I think it is, the Game Boy Color release. You get such a large party dynamic, and it's got a unique play into how you build your character, how you can build out skills, and you can kind of customize your character very heavily. There's also a lot of optional things to do in it, and like actual combat modes and fights are, there are ones that you're scripted to lose, but if you win, you get things for it. It's a really fun game, really cool idea. But in that, there is a pirate. I believe he was portrayed as being sort of more of a pirate hunter. Very much like the Roronoa Zoro lookout, you know, the pirate hunter, the bounty hunter thing. And one of the things he did is he has a big fuck-off blade. Like the old icebreaker ship design where you've got that big heavy hull at the front. His was just a big fuck-off blade, and he would sail his ship straight into other ships just to make them sink. God, I love that game too.
But Orca and Balmunk were
Also, you get a lot
together to
of really
find the
cool
truth about it.
characters, and like Game Boy Color game, I want to look this up. What was that game rated? I know it's very JRPG, you get very pixelated characters, but like characters legit die in that. Like they straight up show you like blood oozing on the screen and everything. Lufia, The Legend Returns, ESRB. Yeah, that game was rated E for everyone. There are characters that get sexually assaulted. There are characters that straight up die. You see the murder. You see them bleed out. You have funerals in that game. Like, I don't know. Again, we checked out another game that was rated E for everyone that definitely should not be rated E for everyone. I am surprised going back to look at that it was rated E and not at least rated T. I think they even make alcohol references. They have a Donald Trump character. They have a character who has more money than he has brains. By the way, I am intentionally making the joke there. I am not necessarily hardlining him for the sake of it. But yeah, he's got more money than brains. He buys elaborate, expensive things. He has a monster that eats gold just because he fucking can. So like, yeah, that they actually have a lot to that. I think there's even like kids that might, I don't remember if they die, but like there's some trauma in that game. Maybe I should take a look at that at some point. I think I did once upon a time, but I think that was before COVID and I got derailed by it. I can't remember. Give me 1 second. Sorry about that. You're a Mexican? Hold on, gotta call Lotso Deportation Bear. Just shared the Sylvanas video in the Discord. Thank you for that. They didn't care back then. You know, that's kind of true.
Orca and Balmunk.
They didn't care if they had death, but I remember blood being the
Orca
kind
and
of
the
thing,
Azure
and
Sea.
like alcohol references. There's a reason a lot of JRPGs back then would have like
Powerful
cut
party
moments
known as
where
Descendants of
people
Fianna.
people dying would be just like in the American version just wouldn't be a scene that you saw. But like also, how many times do we see
my
like
advice.
alcohol coming up
Forget about
as
the rumor.
as like the juice bar and things like that? And I seem to recall like
I
they
can't
didn't call
do
it the
that.
juice bar. I think they had characters straight up getting drunk.
Mhm.
I am Orca's friend.
I see. So that's your reason. In that case, check out Delta, Lonely Silent Great Seal.
Oh, and gambling was all over the place, but yeah, that was not the issue back then that it is now. I don't remember if you actually got to participate in the gambling, but there is a whole freaking casino reference there. Actually, no, you kind of do compete in the gambling, but it's not a real world game, so maybe they would have been able to skirt it that way. And you only do it like once because of the story. So the outcome is already scripted, you're supposed to win.
Orca told me he found a strange room in that area.
But yeah, like these days, gambling is a thing that gets treated way too... It is way too heavily weighted these days, like the rules for gambling in video games. Movies, shows, and games didn't hold back then, except for some things like Ian mentioned. Well, yeah, and like the ESRB, they would allow them in there, but like the ESRB would just raise your rating. This was an E for everyone, so that was where I was getting at there. Part of the reason that some of these things were changed was because they didn't want to have the raised ESRB. A game being rated E made it more widely acceptable to the parents who were shopping for games for their kids. A lot of people, you know, kind of misremember going back that far, but like there was an entire market scare. Like M-rated games kind of scared parents. They didn't know about video games. They didn't know what to expect with it. They didn't know where the threshold was in relations to watching a movie. So they would look at like an R-rated movie and then look at an M-rated game, and they wouldn't have like the scale 1-to-1 wasn't widespread and widely accepted. And so there was just something marketedly wanted about having an E-rated game, especially all the way back at like the Game Boy Color era. The dub of Genocyber got a PG rating, even though they added a bunch of swearing to try and get an R rating. Didn't even need that much swearing. It had stuff that kids definitely shouldn't watch. I mean, in Demi Kids, we had like kids dying. We had kids dying in that one. You straight up had a child getting executed as a primary part of the story, which was wild. And all of the like not full like characters, especially some of the enemies you fought, were 100% naked as fuck. Like what was it? The succubus that like that is a full ass to slap right there that they had in those images. However, it was tastefully tilted. You didn't get the full breast, and yet somehow that was rated E. That is about as close to full-blown nudity as you're gonna just like accidentally stumble upon. Meanwhile, these days you can't have simulated gambling for games aimed at kids. Real gambling like loot boxes, on the other hand, yep, all fair game. And then you also have the issue of with games these days, even if a developer, can I change my party? Can I get Black Rose yet? That's my big question. No. All right, Gardania, don't leave. You're sticking with me.
We're going again?
But yeah, these days you've got things where you can't have anything even remotely slightly sexualized. Even if a developer says, hey, I'm okay with taking the higher rating, even if a developer says, I will put the label of adult only on my game, but this is how I want the game to be made and how I want it to be presented, you can't do that and sell it on most platforms anymore. Like, even Steam is cracking down on some of this stuff, and it's not that Steam themselves is doing it, but credit card payment processors. Why is it you can still go into like adult stores and buy adult things off of the shelves, but God forbid you do so digitally with things online? You wanna be able to go pull money out for the stripper at the club? Absolutely, man, all day long. You want to drink away all your money? Pff, who gives a shit? You want to buy a game that doesn't even have nudity, but has a little bit more cleavage than the payment processors are okay with, that shows just a little bit too much thigh. God forbid a character wear a crop top and hot pants. I just, again, and this is now getting into a whole different topic, but like, there's a whole reason that a lot of these developers are just straight up trying to not do certain things anymore. And it's ridiculous. Yeah, the payment processor censorship is some it's absolutely some 1984 shit. And again, it's not about even what they say it is, right? It's not that like they're trying to have some Puritan stance, because they don't. They don't give a shit. Come on, there we go. Yeah, it's not about making the Puritan stance. It's not about trying to not have these things come up or happen. Because they don't give a shit. They will fund this in all other ways. Especially a lot of the holy shit! I just lost a level! Alright, sorry about that. I have a funny story I can't tell here. Oof. But it involves someone's having their card blocked because of a certain item they bought. Lovely. But yeah, like, a lot of these, when somebody tries to run their card, a lot of times it can be tracked to, like, where are you, what are you buying? And, like, if it was about trying to have this whole Puritan crap, they'd be able to basically say, hey, we don't want you to buy things at this location where these things happen, and they deny card practices there. They don't. I'm sure there are probably examples of some extreme stuff, because obviously no one's going to be like, oh yeah, you want to engage in child trafficking? We're totally fine with that as long as you go through like proper channels, because there's no proper channels. That shit's shut down right from the get-go. So it's, you know, let me deal with all of this stuff here. There we go. I'll tell you when we get on Discord later. Yeah, we'll get the details on that. It's about flexing power. It absolutely is. The power is the game there. I still want to be able to data drain this living dead guy, but I keep almost... I think I got him. I think I can get him this time. I keep missing the window because they die right after. The reason I want to is, again, you can get different items from different things that you're able to data drain. And although right now I'm just getting a lot of data cores, everyone that gives a data core is also able to give items. So yeah, the oak anklet, I have no idea if that's good or not. I forgot to put those in storage. Oh man, everybody else is... Oh, that ain't good. Everyone getting paralyzed. I can't do shit.
Double sweep.
All right, there we go. Now, if you guys could heal me up, I'd really appreciate that. All right, these enemies are a little bit of a hassle, so I could probably search all of that, but I'm just gonna go on through here. Because yeah, if I can go through here and just pick one fight, that's definitely preferential.
Double sweep.
There we go. But yeah, wow, I don't normally see one here. And it's just an ice flow. Interesting. But yeah, it's the whole payment processor thing is one of those stories that really riles me up. Again, if there was... That's a weird layout. If there was like consistency to it and there was something that you could point to I'd still be pissed off about it, but like at least there's, you know, there's rules that are in place and you can fight against those rules, but when the rules are arbitrary, you've got to fight against the system, not the rules. And when you're talking about money, finances, and the size and scale of these payment processors, you are not talking about a fight that is in the favor of people who are trying to, at least in my opinion and take on it, be on the right side of it. Alright, it looks like we're not dealing with a boss fight, so let's see what's going on this side. We are definitely being fed a lot more of the story now.
What is this place? The room. It's gone. It's like someone gouged everything that was here.
I wonder who would do that.
You staying here? I should head back.
And it's very clear that this was meant to be one of those very weird, specific rooms with all kinds of references to the deeper underside of all of the story. Alright, let's do a little wandering, because I think... There it is. Okay, yep. We definitely have some new emails coming in, so let's take a look at that real quick. And then we are getting a little late, so probably getting close to a point where I should be thinking about wrapping up. Little bit long today, but I appreciate this game and I appreciate the story, but I do want to get to a spot where we're leading into something for next time. Found a clue! I succeeded in contacting Alf's friends. I'm meeting up with Meg at, I can't remember which one that is. Great distant fertile land. So why don't you come as well? Let's pray there's something. Alright, let's hop into the world, make sure everything's going to work well enough for me to continue grinding some levels in between. But as long as everything works out there, I think I will call it a good spot. Alright, certainly looks to be functioning well enough. So, as always, thank you everybody for stopping in. Richard, Rigid, Keegs, all of you guys, thank you so much. And for anybody that stops in after the fact, always love to have you here, love to see you. Please give the video a like, try to help out the channel as best you can. I know it's small, I know YouTube doesn't like me, I know I break the rules. Ooh, what's this going on? I thought that the chair and the holes from the room there looked more like fine art before remembering that technically anything can be called fine art. Yeah, and it's also, I think supposed to mean that somebody or something was erasing things. I don't remember if that's supposed to be what's going on, and I don't remember if that's the company or if that's the involvement of, like, Skeeth in any way, shape, or form. So hopefully we'll get some details there, but... yeah, we're going to figure out more of the story as we go. Thank you very much, Richard. As always, everybody, thank you so much for coming in. I hope you have a good one. I hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.